Glory to the King. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the Most High God of all gods, Yahweh our Elohim, the Lord our God. We give all glory, all praise, all honor to Him. I pray you all are doing well. May the Most High be with you. I pray you had a good week. The Lord's given you some rest this day. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Happy Sabbath. Today, we're talking about what makes a marriage valid. We got some heavy artillery, a lot of scriptures to go over. And this is just what I've came up with, what the Most High has shown me from my studies. And we're going to go over what makes a marriage valid. I'm not here to lead or persuade you a certain way. You know, at the end of the day, you got to follow your own convictions. Let the Most High deal with you. Use your discretion, your discernment on what it is He wants you to do with your life, with any marriage that you enter into. What makes a marriage valid? Is it a pastor? Is it a marriage contract? What makes a marriage valid? I know. It's a string of beer cans dragging from the back of your car. Who does that? Let's give it up for those Gentile nations. What makes a marriage valid? John chapter 4, verse 16 through 18. Yeshua said unto her, Go, call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yeshua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. And that says thou truly. So Jesus telling this woman, Go, call your husband. The lady's like, I don't have a husband. Jesus is saying, you already had 5. Even the one you got now is not yours. She must have been getting around. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband, and that says thou truly. Genesis 24 and 67. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Isaac brought her into the tent and took Rebekah. She became his wife. All right. So the next one, Genesis 2 and 24 says, Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Genesis 2 and 25 says, And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. We're talking about what makes a marriage valid. Do you need a marriage contract? Do you need a pastor? Do you need a state marriage license? You've got to follow your own convictions. What the Most High places in your spirit, go with that. Each person is different. Each situation is not the same as somebody else's. What you are led and called to do, follow what the Most High places on your spirit to do. These are what I've came up with and what the Most High has shown me. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. It says, "What? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, says he, shall be one flesh." Joining together, becoming one flesh. Genesis 38, 2 through 8. "And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. Forgive me. And he took her and went in unto her. And she conceived and bare a son. And he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son. And she called him Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Cheziv when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahweh, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go into thee brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thee brother. Go into thee brother's wife, and marry her. So far we're seeing there's a common theme. Laying with a woman, laying with a man, becoming one flesh, joining together. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. It says, "If a man seduces a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall give the bride price for her and make her his wife." So a bride price may be necessary, but you have to consult with the head of that woman, whether it be the father, a stepfather, an uncle, an older brother, younger brother, whoever is the head over that woman. Consult with them, because each head may not require a bride price. Each person, each head may require you to do something else. Whether it be, it may not always be a financial price, but he may have something else for you to give rather than, the actual money. So a bride price is one aspect of it, one component. Deuteronomy 22. Let's go there. Deuteronomy 22. What makes a marriage valid? A string of beer cans dragging from the back of your car? Is that what makes a marriage valid? Is it a pastor giving you the pastor's blessing? Is it the word of the pastor saying you're now married? Is it a marriage license? Is it a state contract? What makes a marriage valid? You've got to use your own discretion. I am sharing what I have been shown from my studies. What the Most High has shown me through His Word. This is what I've came up with on what makes a marriage valid. You've got to use your own discernment. Follow your own convictions. I can't stress that enough. Deuteronomy 22, verse 28 through 29, it says, if a man meets a virgin who is not betrothed and seizes her and lies with her, and they are found, then the man who lay with her shall give to the father of the young woman 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because he has violated her, he may not divorce her all his days. If a man meets a virgin who is not betrothed and seizes her and lies with her, and they are found, then the man who lay with her shall give to the father of the young woman 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because he has violated her, he may not divorce her all his days. So an agreement with the father, a covenant with the father, bride price, laying with, going in unto her. So far what we came up with. Let's go to Genesis 29. Genesis 29, verse 19 through 21. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had for her. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. Genesis 29, 19 through 21. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. So there's another aspect of it. You got to have the blessing from the head of that woman, whether it be an uncle, a father, a male figure in her life, a brother, whoever's head over that woman, get his blessing. Verse 21 says, and Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. Let's go to 23. Genesis 29, 23 through 30. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou hast served with me yet 7 other years. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid, and he went in also unto Rachel. And he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. Peace and blessings to those viewing, those catching the replay. I pray you're doing well. Pray you get some edification through this. Maybe this can help you decide what it is. I'm not here to persuade you in a certain direction, but maybe this can give you some food for thought, give you some insight. Let's read that again. Genesis 29, verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. So there's an aspect of it. There's a a valuable piece, having the father's blessing, or whoever the head is over her, as the father's passed on. It could be an uncle, it could be a brother, it could even be a male role model in her life that's not even related. You got to consult with the head, get his blessing. Genesis 29:30. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. Going in unto her, making that covenant. Matthew 1:24-25. When Joseph woke up, he did what the angel of the Lord had commanded him, and took Mary home as his wife. But he did not consummate their marriage until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus, Yeshua. Whatever resonates with you, let the Spirit move. Whether it's Jesus, Yeshua, Messiah, Christ, let the Spirit minister to you. Let him move. What resonates with you, do so. Divine Lee, salute. 1 Corinthians. We read 16. I didn't get 15 though. 1 Corinthians. Verse 15. Now I urge you, brothers, you know that the household of Stephanas were the first converts in Achaia, and that they have devoted themselves to the service of the saints. Oh, I see what I did. Hold on. That's not it. Chapter 6. I read chapter 16. Solaki. First Corinthians chapter 6 verse 15 says, do you not know that your bodies are members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them members of a prostitute? Never. Jeremiah. Let's see. Jeremiah, what's that got? What makes a marriage valid? Is it a state marriage license? Is it a pastor saying you're married? Is it a string of beer cans dragging from your car? How stupid. Who does that? All right, Jeremiah 29, verse 6. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 6. It says, take wives and have sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage, that they may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there and do not decrease. So take wives and have sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage. So the father's blessing of giving is a crucial element. Now each situation may be different. You may not always have the father's blessing. You got to consult with the Most High what to do after that. Some cases, she may not have a head. Genesis. Reading, hold on. Okay, yeah, we'll read it. Genesis 24, verse 1 through 6. Now Abraham was old, well advanced in years, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said to his servant, the oldest of his household, who had charge of all that he had, put your hand under my thigh, that I may make you swear by Yahweh, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell, but will go to my country into my kindred and take a wife for my son Isaac. The servant said to him, perhaps the woman may not be willing to follow me to this land. Must I then take your son back to the land from which you came? Abram said to him, see to it that you do not take my son back there. Verse 3 was saying that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughter of the Canaanites whom I dwell. Verse 4 was saying, take a wife for my son Isaac. There's another thing I want to bring out. Hey, you know, that's a great point. He says, Shishak is so many cases out here today where the head is a jealous mother. And that's dangerous. you got to tread carefully around that, because the Bible warns us time and time again about the wickedness of a woman. And there's a reason for that. This isn't here. I'm not here to bash women or to belittle them, but you know, what is a big difference among women from men? Well, they're more feeling and emotional based. They make decisions off of emotion rather than logic. And what does this do? This can really make them do some heinous things that they wouldn't even be aware of the severity of their actions. So yeah, a jealous mother, you gotta be careful with that. That's funny. There is something I want to bring out though, because a lot of people think that a marriage is only valid through the government, a state marriage license. They say you need a contract, a piece of paper from the government. And if that's what the Spirit leads you to do, to go and get, do so. You know, this is just, I am sharing what I have came up with, what the Most High has revealed to me through my studies on what makes a marriage valid. This is me sharing my thoughts, what He's shown me. You got to follow your own convictions. Deuteronomy 24. Let's get that. Yeah, he says, what God brings together, let no man tear it apart. That should be the only covenant. You, the woman, and the Most High. You, the woman, and God. You don't need a third party. government involved. Now, if that's what you're led to do, if that's what the Spirit leads you to go and join to, all right. You got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Deuteronomy 24. Here's something to consider. When a man takes a wife and marries her, if then she finds no favor in his eyes because he has found some indecency in her, and he writes her a certificate of divorce and puts it in her hand and sends her out of his house, and she departs out of his house, and if she goes and becomes another man's wife, and the latter husband, if the later man hates her and writes her a certificate of divorce and puts it in her hand and sends her out of his house, or if the latter man dies who took her to be his wife, then her former husband who sent her away may not take her again to be his wife, after she has been defiled, for that is an abomination unto Yahweh. And you shall not bring sin upon the land that Yahweh your Elohim, the Lord your God, is giving you for an inheritance. So for divorce, a bill of divorce, a certificate of divorce. Now here, let me add some balance. I've heard some elders say that for you to give a bill of divorce, there should be an agreement in the first place. Hope that makes sense. They're saying that, I've heard from an elder saying that we should go back to writing up an agreement. Just like there's a certificate or a writing of divorce, there should be a writing of a contract, an agreement. Now you can write up your own agreement, have 2 or more witnesses sign it, get it notarized, whatever you're led to do so. So what makes a marriage valid? We read in John chapter 4 about the woman who has had 5 of them, 5 husbands already. Genesis 24:67, Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah. She became his wife. So going in unto her is one aspect of it. Laying down, making that covenant, consummating the marriage. Deuteronomy 22, verse 28 through 29. The father's agreement. The father agrees, an agreement, a covenant, having the father's blessing. Genesis 29, 19 through 21 says, Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee. Jacob was saying unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. Matthew chapter 1, verse 24 to 25. When Joseph woke up, he did what the angel of the Lord had commanded him and took Mary home as his wife. But he did not consummate their marriage until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. So there's some elements of it. Laying down, consummating the marriage, having the father's blessing, having intention. Bride price, we talked about that. But you got to consult with the head. The head may want an actual physical money price, or the head may have you work. The head might have you, trade whatever resources there is, cattle, land. You got to consult with the head. What the head decides for the bride price, consult with him. Whether that be a father, uncle, brother. This is what I've came up with. I cannot stress this enough. You have to work out your own salvation. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. What the Most High leads you to do, follow your own convictions. I'm sharing what I've came up with. from my studies of reading the scriptures, what he has revealed to me. So I pray that this can give you some insight, give you some food for thought, make you consider things. May the Most High be with you. May his Spirit lead and guide you. I pray you all have a blessed day. Get some rest, recharge your spirit, replenish your soul, and give your physical body some rest too. Peace and blessings to you all. Happy Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom. Glory to the King.